Hello guys, and welcome to a new Star Division 2 video today by me, Eugen. In this one I have for you a first look at the 18th SS-Freivilligen Panzergrenadier Horst Wessel, a new division available in the upcoming DLC Battle of Dukla Pass. As a disclaimer, Eugen has given me free access to the DLC, so a big thanks to them. Also, please remember that this is an early preview and what you see may be subject to change. If you'd like to read the description on the right hand side, feel free to pause the video and take a look, but we're going to be jumping straight on in, and as usual, we'll be having a look at all of the new units available and putting together a quick deck. So let's start here in the Recon tab with, of course, the BMW R75. Wouldn't be a deck preview without them. So, 5 points, 6 in A, 12 in B, useful for radio potentially, and does have very high optics, kind of throwaway recon. Aufgabe, 2-man squad, only available in A in this division, 4 on a card, and can be brought in with SBW 222s, which is nice. Really decent 20mm auto cannon car, so probably going to be the choice there. Can also be brought in with Schwimmwagens, including the one with the MG, so that's another choice there potentially, but I think the choice overall should probably be the 222 in my opinion. Then we have the Battlegroup HW. HW just stands for Horst Wessel, so if you're wondering, that is what it is. 3 available in A, 6 in B, 9 in C. Unfortunately they don't get an MG34, they only get the MG26, so yeah, just gonna be keeping them on hold fire and making sure that they act as recon rather than get themselves killed. Then we have the Aufgabe Panzer II, which is a solid 20mm tank for 25 points. You get 5 on a card in phase A, which is really nice. You can up-vet them to 2 vet, and then you get 3 on a card, but maximizing 20mm vehicles is always a good way to go. Then we have the Battlegroup, which is a 10-man recon squad. They are disheartened, so they will automatically run away when they reach max suppression, and they take more suppression as well. But they have the ZK383, which is a 150 meter range SMG, Kar 98, 2 MG42s, and a Panzerfaust. Relatively well equipped squad, but of course the disheartened trait will let them down a little bit. Then we have the SPW 231, again, more 20mm, never hurt. So yeah, really solid recon tab, honestly, for 20mm vehicles. Then we have the infantry tabs. We have the Heimat Slovakia. These guys are the Slovakians. With the ZK383, again, they've got 9 VZ24s and the VZ26. They're okay. You know, it's a 15.11 strength squad. You get 15 on a card in phase A. You can use them to kind of overwhelm enemy infantry early on, so yeah, certainly potential there to use those. These guys maybe not so much, although they do have a security trait which is interesting. These are the POHG or POG. You can get 18 on a card in phase A, 27 in phase B, 15 points, 8-man MG34 squads. The MG34 will give them some agency at longer range, but they are disheartened still. Security trait is interesting because it does increase their optics when they are stationary. Then we have the French Panzerabwehr. These are fanatical units which have a Molotov. So they've got 9 Kar 98s, MG42, Molotov, Panzerfaust. So 10 strength, going to be decent at the medium to long range. And if anything comes closer, then you can use the Molotov on them. It's not necessarily going to help you win at close range, because if you consider the MG42 can't fire, then you're just a 9-man Kar 98 squad, which is not very powerful. But they are fanatical, so they can't surrender, which is pretty interesting. You can up-vet them. They go from 8 till 4. If that was 8 to 6, up-vetting them would be worth it, but I don't think it is otherwise. But 8 on a card for 20 points. Then we have the Grenadiers with Granatbuchse available in phase A. MP40, Kar 98 and MG42, 9-man squad with the Granatbuchse in there. You've got 9 in A, and up-vetting them, probably worth doing if you're going to bring them. Let me just check the transports on these, because these are ZIS-5s, ZIS-5s, ZIS-5s. It looks like everything's more or less ZIS-5s, although the Grenadiers, they get Opel Blitz, which is nice. Pioneer Führer, Horch, Kubel, Opel Blitz, 3 in A, 6 in B, 9 in C. Standard 4-man leader squad with radio and HE for close range engagements, the grenade layer. Then we've got some Ukrainians, so Ukrainian Grenadiers, 9-man squad, PPS 43, 7 Kar 98s and a DP 28. So it's kind of a mix of Russian and German weapons, and you've got the Panzerfaust in there as well. 24 available in B, 36 in C, which means you can upvet these quite nicely. Then we have the French Grenadier Führer, which is your standard Grenadier Führer loadout with the 2 MB40s, 2 Kar 98s and the smoke grenade, but these guys are fanatical again. Basically, these are like fanatical French Nazis that were recruited into the 18th SS, if you're wondering. But 3, 6 and 9 availability on those. I like leaders with smoke, so that's kind of handy. And then we have the Panzergrenadier Führer Horst Wessel, which is basically the same loadout. They're just not fanatical. And then we have, there's so much in this infantry tab, it's crazy. The Panzergrenadier Horst Wessel with the ZB30. This is a 11-man squad with 2 ZK383s, 7 VZ24s, 2 ZB30s, and then the M1 bazooka. So really interesting loadouts on a lot of this infantry. It's like not entirely German weaponry, far from it. But ZK383 is just, again, really nice because of the 150 meter range. So these are going to be pretty good, honestly. 25 points, 18 in B, 27 in C. Again, upbetting them would be worth it. And the bazooka gives you that nice long range AT. So yeah, that's handy. Then you got the Panzer Pioneer. And these guys are an 11-man squad with 8 rifles, 2 machine guns, which are ZB30s. And then you got the Granatbuchse and an HE. So another really interesting loadout. 5, 10, 15 available. So generic Pioneer loadout in terms of availability. Kiev Z-70 and Opel Blitz are their transport options. I'm just going to go back and double check the others. Because, for example, these can actually be brought in with an SDK Z250-117D, which is actually a pretty nice transport. Can these as well? No. So the Grenadier Führer Horst Wessel might be better than the French one because of that availability of the SDK Z250-117D. Anyway, this Pioneer squad going to be doing okay. Lacking SMGs is going to kind of hurt their DPS after the HE is thrown, but they do have machine guns that can fire at close range, so that should help on top, I guess. Then we got the Sturm Pioneer Horst Wessel. These guys have 4 ZK383s, 4 ZB24s and 2 ZB30s with a flamethrower. So it's 11 strength flamer squad with shock trait and 4 ZKs. That's a pretty beastie squad. 6 available in A with 1 vet and 12 available in B, 1 vet. And you've got 2 cards of these as well. So this is a solid squad. And we've got the Ukrainian Grenadier Führer, which is okay. I mean, it's a 4-man squad with smoke. As a leader, 6 available in B, 9 in C. No interesting transports. Then we've got the Ukrainian Pioneer. So 3 PPS 43s, 5 SVT 40s, DP, and the HE grenade. They are available 12 in B and 18 in C, which is actually pretty good availability for Pioneers. Usually it's 5, 10, 15, as I mentioned before, but these are getting a little bit more, which means that you can probably get the veterancy up so that you can aim and throw the HE faster. Then we have the Panzergrenadier Horst Wessel. These are a 11-man squad with the Panzerfaust. 8, 16, 24 availability is nice on Panzergrens. 2 ZK383s, 7 FEG43s, and 2 MG42s. So kind of like similar loadout to normal MG42 Panzergrens, but have better submachine guns. So they're really nice. Also, their availability seems decent. And then you've got the SS-Freivilligen. These are a 12-man squad. Commando trait. So they've got 7 MP40s, 4 ZK383s, so a lot of submachine guns that do a ton of damage. I mean, the MP40 has like really high damage, so when you have a lot of them, they can be quite scary. And then you've got the ZK383 on top of that, which has the 150 meter range, which scales closer, which means the accuracy goes up like way more than an MP40 does, which is why 150 mil SMGs are just really good. And then you've got the sniper, and then you've got HE as well. So a really interesting loadout, able to kind of pick off at a distance using that sniper, but ultimately is an 11-man SMG squad with a HE grenade for close range. You get 4, 8, and 12 availability at 2 vet. Finally, we have the French Grenadiers, available in A9 on a card, fanatical Grens, with 3 MG42s. That is really gross. So yeah, fanatical. They do have less men. So for example, if you compare them to like these Panzergrens, they cost 5 points less, those Panzergrens, but you get 2 more men, which is nice. But triple MG is huge. So this is going to chunk at range. And if you can keep them at range with decent veterancy, yeah, not much is going to be able to approach these without dying. So that's a very scary infantry squad. Right, moving on to the tank tab. We start with the Panzer 35T. 12 available in A, 18 available in B. Great for clearing up half tracks and light vehicles, but otherwise will struggle. In this case, because it's double MG plus HE, you know, it could be reasonable infantry fire support as well. Then we've got the Panzer III H Führer, which is just going to be a leader radio for your front line. Otherwise, its damage is very limited. You've got some Panzer IVs in here. You get 6 available in phase A. Generally, I'd want to upvet these to 2 vet though. Same goes for the Stugs, available in phase B. Probably want to upvet them just to maximize their efficiency, even though you are limited in their number. The 10 round per minute rate of fire is really, really good at 1,750 meter range with that 135 mils of penetration. Yeah, solid tank. And moving on to the support tab, we have the SS-Freivilligen Panzergrenadier. These guys are 12 on a card in phase B and 18 in C. If you're going to be going for a mass reservist push in phase A, or like disheartened push, I guess, then these might be necessary to spread among them in order to get value, but actually these only come in phase B, so ignore that completely. Maybe with the POHG, if you're going to use those in phase B, then that would be worth bringing. There's also the SBW ADGZ Feldgendarmerie. These guys are available in A, and they do have the discipline trait, so yeah, actually you'd probably use them instead. Both of these are fanatical, they can't be surrendered. This would be the one that you would use, which is an interesting combination. Imagine you bring in the Slovakian troops and you have the SBW ADGZ with them to stop them from running away. It's really, really interesting. Cool combination. And then we've got the IG-18s. There's actually 2 cards of these, 4, 8, and 12 availability. Standard sort of 1,500 meter infantry gun. Panzer IV F1. Decent support tank because the HE on this is 2.2 damage. It does have 2 MG34s, 8, 12, 16 availability. Don't upvet too well. So yeah, probably doesn't need it anyway. We got Ukrainian MG squad available in B with the Dukla. You can upvote these quite nicely to get yourself a reasonable 1,250 meter range MG. But better than that, you have the MG42, so you might as well be bringing those. 5, 10, 15 availability throughout the phases. No interesting transports for those. Then we got the Opel Blitz munition truck. There's 3 cards of them, 10,000 supply each. And then we got IG-33s, which is nice. Available in A, B, or C. So you've got to kind of choose how many you want throughout the game. And then you've got Command Motorcycle, Command Infantry, and the Command Tank, which is the Stroke 3 in this case. Moving on to anti-tank, we have the Panzergrenadier squad. Decent 80. Yeah, two-man Panzergrenadier teams are really nice to just kind of merge amongst your infantry to take care of heavier tanks that are causing you issues. You also have access to the Pak 36, which does have the 750 meter range heat rocket, which has 180 millimeters of penetration. Really solid AT weapon. Then we've got the FK288, which is a Captures 3, which has 45% accuracy. Get 3 on a card. It does also get the radio trait, which is nice, so you can use it as radio artillery with corrected shot. Pak 38, solid AT gun with it, especially when it gets APCR on target, 150 mils a pen, really good accuracy. The 3 damage is light, but because of its rate of fire, it kind of makes up for it. And then you've got standard AP, which is good at 1,500 meters. And then finally, there's 3 cards of Pak 40s, which is really handy because it means you're probably going to be able to upbet these a lot more. You probably just want to go like 2 upvet in A and then not upvet beyond that because the vet curve can be a bit rough. But yeah, nice to have 3 cards of Pak 40s for sure. Moving on to anti-air, we have the Flak 38 available in A, B, or C. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a 20mm AA vehicle, which would be really nice. So kind of just buying those on their own. You do have access to a Flak 43 card, which is available in B and C. And then the SDK Z71, which is available in B and C, 4 and 6 availability. Flak 43 is 6 and 9 availability. All of this AA, we've seen many times before, but it looks like here you're going to be reliant on the Flak 20s in Phase A, which is really rough. Moving on to the artillery, we have the Beobachter, which is your 2-man artillery observers. They're useful if you don't have Recon in the Recon Infantry in the Infantry tab. Like say if I just spam all 20 mils here, I can add these to the Artillery tab to act as Recon for me and then provide the radio trait. We also have Battleführer, 2, 4, 6 availability. And then a lot of guns. So 2 cards of 105mm LAFHs, 3, 6, and 9 availability. I think they've been buffed in price, which is nice because I've never really been a fan of them. So that's good. I'm going to potentially make them a good choice here because there is a decent amount of radio on your leaders at least that you're going to be able to take advantage of. And it seems like you're going to be quite reliant on artillery anyway because you're kind of lacking tanks and more like forward attacking elements. But 81 more mortars, 4, 8, and 12 availability. 105 KH or K35. This is a really solid artillery piece. Has very sort of small dispersion, so quite an accurate gun. Yeah, 4 available in B, 8 available in C. You got the SFH 396, which is an M30 gun. Reasonable howitzer. The nice thing on the German side is it does get radio, so that's good. And in Phase A, it can be pretty nice. You can bring it in with multi-munition. It looks like that is the first one that can have the multi-munition. So potentially a choice in order to not bring in Phase A supply. Then we have, Phase A supply in the support tab as opposed to artillery. The SK-105, one of the strongest 105s in the game, probably the strongest 105 in the game, again due to low dispersion. So decent artillery, multi-munitions are available for it as well. 2 in 8, 4 in B. Then we have the SFH443, which is an M10. This is a nice gun. 2 available in A, 4 available in B. Yep, pretty cool looking gun. And then we've got the SFH25 as well, which is a VZ25. 4 available in B, 6 available in C. So 7.5 damage on this with 3 round per minute rate of fire. This one is 7.6 damage with 3 round per minute rate of fire. So this one's slightly better than this one. But yeah, this one's only available in A and B. This one you can get in the late game. Cool. Let's move on to the air tab. So just your little Recon plane. FI-156. The Stork. Very cool. Then we have the Focke-Wulf 58C. It's alright. I mean, the biggest thing about these is like this is very bad resilience. This is bad resilience. It's still going to get shot down pretty easily. And then we got the Focke-Wulf 189, which is actually a pretty nice recon because it has 4 50-kilogram HE bombs, so it can kind of spot its own targets and dive in on them, and can kill you, kill enemy AT and support weapons for you early on, which is a nice choice. So I actually am a big fan of this particular recon plane. Then we got the Ju-87 with 250-kilogram bomb, 3 available in A, 6 in B, 9 in C. There's also a napalm bomb Ju-87 R2. So 2 available in A, 4 in B, 7 in C. So they get 2 standard 250-kilogram bombs and 1 250-kilogram napalm bomb, which is cool. I haven't tried it out, but it'd be interesting to see how it performs. And you can also get one with 3 napalm bombs. So 2 available in A, 4 in B, and 7 in C. And there's the BF-109 G6 at 2 vet. 2 available in A, 4 in B, 6 in C. You want to use these in pairs most of the time because they're not going to have enough firepower to like down a medium or heavy bomber in one pass otherwise. Then we've got the HS-129 available in B and C. This is the one with the 30mm on the front as opposed to the 105. Regardless, it's useful. In particular for dealing with heavier targets, especially if you get side shots. There's a card of Focke-Wulf 190 A8. These have 4 20mm plus 2 machine guns in the nose. So 600 km/h fighter. Very nice fighter indeed. It does kind of upvet badly, but 4 is good. And then finally the Focke-Wulf 190 F8, which is an AT plane, which has the Panzerbuchsenrohr, which is an interesting anti-tank rocket on the wings. Not entirely sure how effective it is, but it's a 4 damage and you've got 8 shots, so probably very effective, as long as the accuracy is alright. But 4 available in B, 6 available in C, and this is going to be one of the ways that you're dealing with heavier armor, because as you may have noticed throughout all of the tabs, you are kind of lacking your own heavy armor and like big AT guns. So IS-2s might have a good time against this division. So let's have a quick look through and we'll put together a deck. So let's start here. We're going to do Aufklärer with the 222s. I'm going to bring in the Aufklärer Panzer II and also the 231. And that's probably where I'm going to leave it for the recon for now. Then for the infantry, I am going to try this combination where I use the Heimat Slovaki with the SBW ADGZ in the support tab. I think that's going to be kind of fun to just give it a go. Probably not that effective overall, but worth a try. I think these in Phase A are so worth bringing. And then we've got potentially a card of these in Phase A as well, which is your strong close range capability. For the Panzergrenadier Horst Wessel, I'm thinking we go like a card of these in B and a card in C, just for the long range engagements. We'll take the Jägerverband in B, and then let's see, maybe bring some like Ukrainian pioneers in Phase C because of the nice availability on those. Also, they can be brought in with the Oberblitz, which is handy. I'm going to have to look at leaders, so I think I might do Phase B, Panzergrenadier Horst Wessel in B with the 251Ds, and in Phase A, we can do the French Grenadierführer. Alright, what am I missing out on here? Because there is some really interesting units. I don't think this unit's necessarily worth bringing. I mean, it's a decent unit for 20 points, for sure, but is it better than what I've already put in? Not really. Like these, again, specialized long range, specialized close range. We've got the spam in there. Then we've got specialized long range, specialized close range, specialized close range, specialized long range. That's kind of like the way that I like to do it. It might be quite interesting to try and fit these in. What's the difference here? Like we get the extra range on the bazooka. Maybe I'll put them in B instead. Yeah, we'll put them in B instead. Because in B you have less points, so having a 25-point infantry is going to be quite nice. There's also the Panzer Pioneer is choice, but they're not going to be taken over the Jägerverband, or Jagdverband, sorry, not Jägerverband, Jagdverband. And then we've got Pioneers here. Like the availability just, I think, gets trumped maybe. The 3 submachine guns is just better. I do like the fact that we have a Granatbuchse as well, though. I think we'll keep the Ukrainians. Alright, moving on to the tank tab. So I will bring in the Stugs at max vet, we'll bring in the Panzer IIIs at max vet. And then I'm thinking Panzer III Führer in phase A, because I'm going to want as many radio recon, radio leader units as I can get for the corrected shot. Okay, in this tab we're looking at probably infantry leader. Infantry leader, like I mean commando. We definitely want the IGs. I think we're gonna phase B the IGs. More phase A some MG42s. And then it's supply. So let's bring in the Panzer IV F1s. Do I want them in phase A? Probably not. I'm actually thinking like later on the Panzer IV F1s could be really handy to just spread out. Let's definitely do the AT tab. I think Panzerschrecks is a must. Infantry AT is kind of lacking early on, so I should probably put them in A. And then we have Pack 40s. We'll do 4 in A, 5 in B. Anti-air, we'll do Flak 43s in B. And maybe, or maybe I don't want to do it like this. We do 2 vet Flak 43s in phase C. Let me just check these transports. And then 2 vet SDKZ in B, and maybe just 1 vet for 20s in phase A. That tab is so expensive. Okay. K35s are really good. I think we're gonna go maybe 122s in A, although the dispersion on those isn't as good. I might actually bring in 105s in A, and we'll do K35s in B, and then we can do maybe some of these VZ25s in phase C. Be expensive if we bring them with the mortiers. I'll come back to that. Let's just finish off the air tab. So we'll probably bring these in A. I think they're very useful to have in A. We definitely need the Focke-Wulf 190s, and I think we're going to need them sooner than later, so we'll bring them in Phase B. HS-129s, I might even go C with them. There's a lot I want to try out here. We can do some Napalm A. And then I'm thinking Phase B Focke-Wulf fighters. And then Phase C ducks. We got 4 more points to spend. So probably go artillery. Bring these in with multi-munitions in Phase A. And then I'm thinking maybe leaders for the artillery. And AT, just more AT guns, probably a good idea. Let's do Pak 36s. They're so useful because of their like extended range Panzerfaust equivalent. I think we're maybe a bit light on AT. But our should be able to save us there. Also, I mean, we do have the Panzergrens with the bazookas, we've got Shreks in A, so I don't think like A and B are really going to be harassed by armor too much, but Phase C it could maybe get out of hand. Yeah, I'll have to mess around with it. I mean, obviously, I can probably take out this card of the reserve or like disheartened units, plus I would take out this as well, so that would remove both of those, and then I'd have points to throw elsewhere in order to kind of make up for that. Because I think if I take out this card, for example, well, that's only a 2-pointer actually, okay. I was going to say, maybe I could then add another anti-tank card, but apparently not. Okay, well, there it is. The 18th SS-Freivilligen Panzergrenadier. Yeah. Cool. It's an interesting division. I don't know how well it's really going to perform. I think the infantry has a lot of potential, but it really doesn't have quite the same support as some of the other divisions. It really is going to depend on like how well the Focke-Wulfs form with those rockets, and also like if you can get enough artillery into position quick enough without being overrun. Yeah, fun division. Nothing extra in the defense tab. Just thought I'd check. We'll leave it there. That's all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.